The two best drivers here at Bristol Motor Speedway battling for the victory. Kyle Busch leads brother Kurt by a single car length.
Kyle Busch is going to come down to the checkered flag.
Eight. Thank you, guys.
When you give him a lead late, you have given the junkyard dog a bone. It's going to be pretty tough to take it away.
I overstepped the car's limits in turn one with like 3 to go. Yeah, otherwise I was going to wreck him in 3 and 4, come and take the checker. I was going to flat out wreck him.
You can't tell people that you're going to wreck them before you do it, because when roles are reversed, that person's going to wreck you.
Hi, welcome to Splash and Go. I'm Nate Ryan, along with Jeff Burton. And Jeff, an interesting situation at Bristol Motor Speedway. Closing laps of the race, you had Kyle Busch, the winner, being chased down by his older brother, Kurt. If you walked by Kurt with a microphone after that race, he would have told you, I was going to wreck him if I got close enough. So do you think he was telling the truth? If Kurt Busch could have gotten to Kyle Busch, would he have wrecked him Sunday?
My experience tells me that there's talkers and there's doers. and when it comes to wrecking somebody, the guy that gets on the radio and says, I'm going to wreck that guy, and all that, never does. Mm-hmm. The quiet guy that doesn't say a word, that's the one you have to watch out for. So I don't know. I think actually doing that is completely different than thinking you would do it. When you drive into turn one, you cannot separate that's your brother, right? And that's big. To intentionally wreck your brother would be a big deal. So I don't know that Kyle wasn't just, or Kurt rather, wasn't just kind of throwing something out there just to mess with all of us. But it would have been entertaining as hell if he would have done it. But I just don't know that that's something he would have actually done.
Yeah, good for us, probably bad for Kyle, who took umbrage.
So my question is, on Monday, do you pick up your phone and say, hey man, like, were you really going to wreck me?
Yeah.
Like, or does it just go on like it never happened?
Well, that seemed to be what Kyle was saying after the race. It's like, why is he telling me this? Is it a good idea to tell somebody? Because now Kyle basically says, I've got a free pass that I can wreck him next time because he told me he would have done the same thing to me.
So not only that, you race a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So when you go on TV and you go publicly and you say, I would have wrecked him because he already has wins and it would have put me in the playoffs, you tell it to everybody.
Right.
Like if he wrecked your brother, he damn sure wreck you, right? So does that mean when you catch him, you can wreck him? Did he give you permission so that you can wreck him? That to me is, I think that's why I believe it was Kurt more just kind of, just, I don't want to say messing with us, but just stirring the pot a little bit, because I just don't think you announced to everybody that you would have wrecked them.
Okay, well, not to delve too deeply into the psychoanalysis here, but they are brothers. There's been a sibling rivalry here for probably 30 or so years. Is that the root of it, or do you think Kurt was trying to get in his head a little bit, or is it just, hey, they have that relationship?
I do think, listen, Kurt is on the verge of winning a race. Mm-hmm. And Kurt is the guy that's, and at this point in the year, he's the guy at Chip Ganassi Racing that's done the best. And I think that Kurt doesn't think that's good enough. And good for Kurt. I think that Kurt is like, look, I expect to be winning races. I'm a championship driver. I've won a bunch of races. My brother's getting all, he's winning. Everybody's talking about him, but I can win too. And I think that some of that is that. And good for Kurt. I think that that's how Kurt should be. Kurt should have that attitude. I can win these races too. Look at what I'm doing. I applaud Kurt for that attitude, because that's the only way you can be successful.
Right.
And so some of it is just him not only reminding you and me and all the people in the stands, but reminding himself that he is hungry. He's going to do what it takes to win. He's helped make this team better. He's been part of that process, and he wants to take it to the next level.
Probably a good message for his team, which he's in his first season at Ganassi. Like, he wants to tell them, hey, this is what I'll do for you.
Exactly. Right? And because I promise you, he's asking them, right? He's asking them to give him 100%. Mm-hmm. You give me 100% and you give me the cars I need, I can win with them. And he can. And so he's telling them the same thing. Look, I'll give you everything I've got. And that's important. It's especially when you're building something, right? When you're building something and people don't really know you, how you behave and how you act and the effort you put in really matters. After 2 or 3 years, they know you. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to give you a pass on the things that you're good at, and they're going to still not like you at the things that you don't do good at. They know you. And so right now he's building that relationship, and it matters.
Right. We're here at JTG Doherty Racing today, where Dave Burns interviewed Chris Buescher. You can also check that out on Splash and Go. This is a Chevrolet team. Chevrolet has no wins through the first 8 Cup races this season. Is Kurt Busch who is the #1 Chevrolet. Do you feel like he is the #1 car right now in the Chevrolet camp, given the season he's had?
You know, so on consistency, yes. On speed, I'm not quite there yet. I still think the 9 car has a little more speed, but not much. So, you know, at the end of the day, the great thing about racing is there's a really simple way to know how you did. And all you got to do is look at the scoring pylon. And so how you got there matters. It matters a great deal, but really matters is the end result. And if you look at the end result, you could make a reasonable argument that Kurt is the leader. When I look at speed, I lean a little bit more toward Chase Elliott and his team, but not by a lot, by just a little bit.
And his teammate at Hendrick, Jimmy Johnson, had a top 10 at Bristol. Chase Elliott might have had one if he hadn't had the power steering problem.
Yep.
So it seems like that team for Chevrolet, Hendrick Motorsports, still going in the right direction.
Well, they need to. I mean, this year they'll get behind. I mean, they're already behind, and you get yourself where you can't catch back up. But the last few weeks has certainly been some promise. I think, you know, Jimmy Johnson said it best. Hey, we're not where we want to be, but we're closer. We can see the leaders, and that, you know, before, I mean, it was 3-4 weeks ago, we got lapped 3 or 4 times, you know what I mean? So certainly better performances the last couple of weeks, but they still have a long way to go.
All right, well, we'll see if they can reach that goal. Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, all going for that first victory at Richmond Raceway this weekend. You can watch that. In the meantime, you can also watch NASCAR America weekdays, daily, 5 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. Thanks for watching Splash and Go.
Hey NASCAR fans, thanks for checking out the NBC Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe below for the latest NASCAR news, race highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.